So you'd separate your hub networks by putting a bridge in between it. That creates two different, or in this drawing here, three different collision domains. Every port off of a bridge is a segment, is a collision domain. Now a bridge, the initial concept of a bridge was a two-port device. It was a IBM creation, and it was simply designed to do this. It was designed to segment the Ethernet segments away from each other so that you could have multiple collision domains. By segmenting the collision domains, you actually effectively double your bandwidth simply with a two-port bridge. Again, take into account the example I gave a few minutes ago. You have 100 users on a CSMA-CD, carrier sense multiple access with collision detection, on an Ethernet hub network. If you segment them out with a bridge equally, right? So you have 50 users on one side and 50 users on the other side. Instead of having 400K per user, you've now got 800K per user using that same formula. So by segmenting it this way, you effectively double the bandwidth you have on a per user basis just by simply replacing one of your hubs with a bridge. So the problem with bridges, though, as we discovered early on, is that they were software-based and generally they only had a few ports. Right? Now there were some, higher port density bridges out there, but for the most part, before the high density bridges came into play, we had another technology kind of steal its place, and that is, now a switch supersedes the concept of bridging, but in reality, if you look at what a switch does, it really is a bridge. 98% of what a switch is actually doing is the same exact technology that a bridge did, except for the switch has more ports generally than a bridge had. But if the bridge followed its progression of what it was doing, it would eventually have had the same amount of ports as modern day switches have. The big difference, and this is the gigantic part, between a bridge and a switch is that a switch runs with ASICs chips. That's an application-specific integrated circuit. Now, the hardware-based bridging is why we changed the name over to a switch. And I'm not sure exactly what manufacturer did this, but really what they did when they created a bridge and they used ASICs chips, in order to separate themselves from the bridge market, they really created the switch market by themselves using the exact same technology, but wanted to differentiate themselves, and they did so by renaming their product, which really is a bridge, by naming it a switch. So again, same technology. It operates differently than a hub, though, because a hub is a multi-port repeater. It's not doing anything but amplifying the binary signal it's receiving on the wire. A bridge, or a switch, takes that binary information, brings it up, and looks at it as a frame and makes an intelligent decision as to where it's going to forward it. And that's really the key on the technology of bridging and switching.